Welcome to Sergeant War Dog TV.
Steve Jeans, that's what it is. All I know is war. All I know is shoot. All I want is more, but I got some things to do. I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you. I'm a soldier, I'm a warrior. Got a emblem on my cover. And ask me what I did for ya. I put the trash deep down under. Yeah, I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you. Yeah.
What's up? This is episode 6 of the War Dog Trail. This is Sergeant War Dog. Hey, if I haven't mentioned this before, when you hear that theme song come on, I need you to know that has been specifically made for this show, for the podcast, and especially for the web series. This title of the song is Dogs of War, and it was made by an artist by the name of Black Clout, and he's a part of a group by the name of YBK808, baby. He's one of the artists that I feature on the Sergeant's playlist. For those of you who don't know or haven't had a chance to check out the playlist, go ahead and head over to sergeantwardogtv.com, and we have a link there for the playlist where you can actually find out what the playlist is, which is nothing more than me featuring unknown or unsigned new artists from all genres that I happen to like and feel, and that flow with the War Dog Trail podcast, as well as the Sergeant War Dog TV web series. I think I also need to take this time to go over our social media. If you didn't know already, Sergeant War Dog TV can be found at our website, obviously, sergeantwardogtv.com. But in terms of social media, you can find us on YouTube, on Vimeo, on, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. And we are actually in the process of syndicating this podcast with DV Radio. And DV in this case stands for an organization known as known as Dysfunctional Veterans. All right, not to be confused with DAV, organization known as Disabled American Veterans. But you will soon find the War Dog Trail being broadcast and syndicated on the DV Radio network. You can also find me co-hosting either their Barracks Talk podcasts, which we do live for 2 hours on Saturday nights, or on the Sunday Morning Coffee Show, which, as the name implies, airs on Sundays. I'm going to take most of this episode to finally get into how or why Sergeant War Dog TV came about, and therefore why, the War Dog Trail came about. Back in 2018, beginning of 2018, I was given the great opportunity to come across recreational land in Florida. And this is the type of recreational land that can be used for hunting, camping. I wouldn't say fishing so much, because this is more of a swampy area. But if nothing else, this area is known for ATV and UTV riding. The trails there, nationally ranked, nationally known. I headed out there by myself initially so that I could begin to have a place to fire my AR-15, man, and work on my skills with my 45. I just wanted a true outdoors place that I could be me. I could do my thing as a grunt. So as most infantrymen, operators know, the things that we're trained to do and that we excel at, you cannot do at a civilian gun range. With most of the laws, not the laws, most of the rules that are in place, there's things that we are used to doing, whether it's laying in the prone, whether it's moving on the run, shooting on the run, shooting on the move, whether firing at moving targets. There's a lot of things you can't do in a civilian gun range that I needed to be able to do to tap into who I really am again. So I went out to Hollapaw, Florida, found recreational land there, bought 2 plots, and within a few weeks I was out there on my own, camping by myself, old school, just like a grunt would. Just popped up a tent, threw everything in the back of my pickup, said goodbye to my wife and daughters, and went out to the field, man, to do my thing. And it was while being out there that it truly, truly dawned on me that there's no other form of post-war therapy for guys like me, those that have extended periods of combat, those that have confirmed kills, those that have lost buddies, that do dodge the car bombs, the IEDs, the snipers, the landmines. Those of us that have had to train hours in chemical warfare, or I'll say how we would handle military ops under the phases of a chemical attack. Once I spent that weekend out there, man, and I tapped into who I was again and what I do actually know, what I am actually good at, I knew that was what was missing from a lot of veterans' lives, especially those who are living in the city, who don't have access to private land for whatever reason. That big part of who they are is missing from them because they can't get out to that form of outdoor therapy that I was able to find almost 2 years ago when I began my outdoors excursions. After that weekend, man, I came back home to my wife and daughters with a gratitude for being alive, for having survived out there on my own for that weekend. I actually took a box of MREs out there with me, man. That's how, back into the grunt life I needed to take it. Went out with a few bins worth of gear, AR-15, 45s, tent, pickup truck, MREs, water. Then this might surprise you, but I actually also have my own spool of concertina wire, or razor wire, that I brought out there because I wasn't familiar with the area. So I was going to put all of my training to use, man. And bought a spool of razor wire from Amazon, took it out there with me, set up a very nice perimeter around my truck and my tent, and I even had chem lights. I bought chem lights, attached them to the concertina wire so I'd know at night, where my borders were. And it even helped for some of the fellow campers and all, because I had a group pull up on me around 1 or 2 in the morning, but they happened to notice the chem lights and they knew, obviously that someone camped, so they needed to move on. But I went from that first weekend to truly having a gratitude for life again. The same gratitude I had when I returned each time from Iraq back to the States. But this time, I had that gratitude, and I knew I was coming back to my wife and my 2 daughters. And I didn't have that as an active duty Marine. I was single, no dependents, ready to fight, kill, die, whatever the mission requires, whatever defense of our country requires. As a Marine on the ground in the infantry, that was what I was ready to give up. That's what I'm still ready to give up, just not as healthy enough to fight or get the job done like I want to now as I was then. Periodically, I'd head out to Hullapaw, out to my property. And this is not, your normal flat terrain there. We're talking bumpy, undeveloped, just straight swampland. All right. And the entire area is actually about 10,000 acres large, man. So you are able to do whatever you want at your own camp, have your guests, whatnot, and then head out to, ATV or UTV ride, camp, hunt, what have you. After going out for a while, I really got into hunting again deeply. And then once I found out that in the state of Florida, it's legal to hunt wild hogs at night, 24/7, 365 days a year, I was hooked. You didn't need to tell me anything else. I'd already had my concealed weapons permit for, 10, 12 years at the time. I went ahead and added my hunting license to that and went to applying every bit of both civilian hunting with military manhunting that I knew about. That eventually led me to start to go out with a GoPro. Short time after that, I would take a GoPro, and I even took a dog with me, an Akita. And for those who don't know, Akitas are actually bred to, they're bred in Japan, they originated, or their original uses in Japan were for bear fighting, man, for bear hunting by the Japanese up in the freezing mountains during the snow. So once I had access to an Akita, I immediately wanted to take her out with me, and we did our best to scout and hunt for hogs as best we could. But it went from my little excursions on my own, patrolling, reconning, scouting, having the GoPro, to actually, I want to make note, that was October of 2018 that I did start taking the dog out with me. I was fully using the GoPro to record everything. And the reason I was using the GoPro wasn't so much for what it is now as Sergeant War Dog TV. It's because I wanted my girls, my daughter and my wife and 2 daughters, to have some sort of video footage if something did happen to me. So I had the GoPros. I also had an Arlo Go, which is a 4G camera that you can take anywhere with you. I had that running with me also, so that at times my wife could use the app and link in and get a live view of me, and she could even hear me and all. But after October 2018, eventually I got around to taking friends out, family members out with me, out to the property. And each time, man, I can't explain to you, I was beyond hyped, to be in the outdoors again, doing things as a Marine. But by February of 2019, I officially launched Sergeant War Dog TV on YouTube, as well as all the other social media platforms. And that's when I got the idea of, bringing other veterans to the outdoors as their form of therapy in their post-war lives as well. That'll end episode 6 for now. Take care. Salute.